Hey humans, Coach Mindy here with your FīND workout of the day. Today we have spooky AMRAP. It is a 15-minute AMRAP, which is as many rounds as possible in 15 minutes. You're going to do 15 alternating single dumbbell snatches. I know that's a lot of words for one movement. It's much easier than it sounds. 15 suitcase deadlifts. We'll be doing 2 dumbbells for that. Then back to a single dumbbell for an overhead lunge, 15 per side there. Then we will be doing 15 dumbbell extensions, 2 overhead sit-ups. Everywhere you see OH indicated in your workout notes, that means overhead. To get us ready for that, we're going to go through our warm-up 3 times through, starting out with 30 seconds of jumping jacks. Remember, short, sharp jumps to make sure our knees are not collapsing in. Then we're going to do 30 seconds of a touchdown to jump. So hinging forward, not a squat. Don't let your hips sink. Keep them up slightly, but a soft bend in the knee. Jump straight up. 30 seconds there. Then we're going to step our feet out into our squat stance. And the following movements will be 10 reps each. Fingertips by your ears. Pinch your shoulder blades together. Soft bend in the knee, you're going to hinge, and then in one movement, you're going to lift your chest, dropping your butt, going into a squat, and then reverse it. You're going to do 10 reps there. And we're going to take our feet double shoulder wide for alternating lateral lunges. Try to get that butt down, push those knees out, and if you need to, you can rock that opposite foot up. 10 total reps, moving into toy soldiers next, standing tall, kicking opposite hand to foot. If going in motion helps you out better with balance or stabilizing by putting your hand on a wall or a countertop, please do so. 10 total reps there. Then if you're able, grabbing a lighter dumbbell than what you'll be using in the workout. If you do not have access to lighter set of dumbbells, just grab something lighter, bottle of water, just something to warm up your shoulder. One arm only, elbow goes high and outside, straight up and down. You're gonna do 5 on one side, and then 5 on the other. Remembering that our elbow is gonna be higher than our wrist. We don't wanna end up in this position. So those are your dumbbell high pulls. Then still keeping one dumbbell, grabbing either side, stand tall, squeeze your gut, squeeze your butt. We're gonna go overhead, and then lower back down with control. Overhead, and make sure we're not arching or extending our back. Keep those ribs tucked down, squeeze the butt, squeeze the gut. You're gonna go through that warm up 3 times through, getting you ready for spooky AMRAP. All right, we start out each round with a single arm dumbbell snatch. You will be alternating. It is 15 per side. And dumbbell snatches look like this. So essentially, you are taking that dumbbell from the ground straight up overhead. From the front, you're going to set up with your feet in kind of a hybrid stance. It's not underneath your hips. It's not quite squat position. We want a nice, powerful stance. That dumbbell starts off on the ground in between your shoes. At no point during this movement do we want that dumbbell to get out in front of our toes. From here, you're gonna grab a hold of that dumbbell, and some people, if they need to, and this is totally fine, you can just put one dumbbell head on the ground if that gets you in a better position. Your hips are slightly elevated. We're not down into a squat. We're also not rounding out because that's our back and that doesn't feel good. So, eye on the horizon, chest up as much as possible. From here, stand tall, squeeze your butt, squeeze your gut. Do this a few times. Just standing up with the dumbbell for this, keeping that arm nice and long. The next piece, and we're building up for the entire movement, is you stand tall, squeeze the butt, squeeze the gut, and then shrug. In real time, it looks like this. So 2 or 3 on the right, then 2 or 3 on the left. Next, we're going to move into that high pull, which which is why we had it in the warm-up. So set up position, stand tall, and pull. Really important that we get that full hip extension standing tall before we pull. So 2 or 3 on the right, 2 or 3 on the left, which again, this is why we want to move through this with a lighter dumbbell, not the one we're using in the workout. And that final piece is just getting that dumbbell up overhead, arm locked out. It can happen that your arm gets tired and you start falling to the side or drifting out. This needs to be a hard punch, trying to get that bicep as close to your ear. So once more, in slow motion, stand tall, pull, punch. And then you just let that dumbbell reverse all the way down. It hits the ground, you change sides, and this is that dumbbell snatch once again in real time. All right, that is our single arm single arm dumbbell snatch, alternating 15 per side. So maybe watch this piece one more time through, warming up this movement. All the other movements should be pretty familiar. Grabbing another dumbbell for my suitcase deadlift. Feet are pretty narrow inside your hips. Actually, you're grabbing one end of the dumbbell, but a full grip. You're gonna hinge forward. Dumbbell touches down right outside of your pinky toe. Standing tall, squeeze the butt, squeeze the gut. Make sure in that setup position, your shoulders are out in front of the dumbbells. You're not rounding out and you're not dropping down too low. Just that hybrid deadlift position. Stand tall, squeeze your butt, squeeze your gut. 15 total reps there. Then we are back to one dumbbell. You're gonna punch that dumbbell overhead, keeping that bicep nice and close to the ear. So pretend like this is 200 pounds, because if you get relaxed, this is what happened. We wanna keep our shoulder nice and active. You're gonna give me 15 lunges on one side, take that dumbbell down, switch sides, 15 on the other. If you are moving with a little bit of a heavier dumbbell and you need to do this in smaller sets, you can do 5, 5, 5, 5. Just make sure when you switch sides, you bring it down to the shoulders or even down below. Don't switch your weight overhead. That is your overhead dumbbell lunge. And then your final movement of the workout. Keeping just one dumbbell, it's gonna look like this. Dumbbell taps the ground above your head. You straighten your arms and they stay straight, and you keep your eye on that dumbbell all the way down. So it's just a tricep extension into an overhead sit-up. Now, ideally I'd like to keep the legs straight. If you need to, we can bend them, putting our feet flat on the floor. The most important piece here is that we're keeping those arms nice and straight on the way up, and we're keeping our eyes on that dumbbell. Back stays flat, chest passes the hip crease. You've got 15 reps there. All movements, 15 reps, whether it's total or per side. 15 minutes of movement, making sure you're tracking how many rounds. And when that clock stops, you stop. So count rounds and reps. OH equals overhead. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great workout.